Yeah, I really want to welcome everyone um, here to the Redwoods in person or virtually. And we have a really nice looking fire going near here. You can probably hear the crackling. And I don't know if you can hear the creek, but it's also making quite a lot of noise because we've had a fair bit of rain. Oh, yeah. Say hello. You did.
Hi.
Oh, could you find the chanting for us? We're going to do precepts in a little bit.
Fun.
And yeah, I really want to welcome everyone to 2024. And of course, it's good to remember that um, the new year is something human beings made up. It's just the way we keep track of things, right? So it's a bit artificial, and yet it gives us an opportunity to reflect. And regardless of when it would be, taking that chance to reflect on what we're doing with our time and how we connect with each other and what's really important to us. This is a very, very important activity. And already today, there's been so many expressions of kindness and uh, friendship among people, and it's really lovely to see. It's really been a year filled with growth and development for us here at the Hermitage, for the Sangha in general, the Karuna Buddhist Vihara Sangha, and and for a lot of people. I know there have been some very challenging times in various people's lives, and coming to those times and through those times with practice has made all the difference. And so we're in a way celebrating today, and also, like I said, taking this time for some reflection. And one of the things that those of us who went on pilgrimage to Thailand in November heard a lot from Ajahn Gana is set the past to zero. I mean, he says an arahant doesn't have any past. We should just let go of everything that happened before. And in a very powerful sense, that can be really helpful. And I mean, let me try to say that in another way. I know for myself that there's so much from the past that might come back into my mind that's best to just let go of. And one way that we can do that is by right here and now, starting with forgiveness for everyone in our life and for ourselves about anything that came before that was challenging or unskillful in any way, and just really let that arise. It's a forgiveness practice, of course, many of you know, is something that's very much a part of our monastic practice. We often ask forgiveness when we take leave of a teacher or the monastery or a community. And a lot of times we ask forgiveness when we arrive, and you say, well, I didn't even have a chance to do anything yet. But it kind of clears the slate. So forgiveness is always kind of always appropriate. I happened to be listening to a talk. The way I spent New Year's Eve was with Ayya Chitananda mainly, and Ayya Nyanika was in quarantine, so she was having a lot of wonderful solitude time. But one of the things that we did was listen to some of Ajahn Brahms. He gave a talk recently, and also had the BSWA New Year's Eve party. And he talks about, how many times should you forgive? And he said, oh, always one more time. And now, he's developed a bit more around that. Sometimes when the behavior we're forgiving is something that gets repeated over and over and it's really toxic or painful, then sometimes we need to be on probation in order to change that. And that can help. We're not going to talk much about that right now, but the idea that forgiveness doesn't happen without wisdom. We know what's wholesome and unwholesome, and we forgive all of the mistakes, all of the actions that have come out of delusion or greed or aversion. But then we affirm to start again with more wisdom, with more kindness, more generosity, more virtue. So that's one place to start, letting go of the past, setting it to 0. But then of course, there are a lot of things from the past that are helpful to reflect upon. And it's all those very things, the times when we've been generous and kind, when others have been generous and kind to us, when we've been keeping moral precepts, especially when we've been challenged a bit, maybe invited to go off the track a bit, or something might have caused some dilemma, and to really recall our own determination and our own best attempts. So those two, forgiving what didn't go so well, what might have been unskillful, and taking in and honoring all of the things that we've done that have been in accordance with them. So that's the past. And now we have this opportunity in this present moment to make a fresh start and use the good momentum that we're carrying with us. So I know quite a few of you have had some significant changes in your life, or maybe changes in your practice, changes in the way we see things. And that these have an upward thrust. They're going towards what's better, more in line with the Dhamma. And that's very exciting. And we also, have the chance to draw upon one another's strength and encouragement to determine that we go in that upwards direction, in that direction towards less greed, less hatred, less delusion, more peace, more tolerance, more acceptance of everyone, more love. And the Buddha gave a lot of straightforward advice to his disciples. And for any of you who have been with us at other New Year's Day events or New Year's Eve events, depending on what we were doing each time, you know that we have this little practice of choosing from a bowl. Let's see, I can't see myself anymore, so I'm going to change that so that I know if you can see. Okay, we have this bowl with these little slips of paper, and each one has an instruction from the Buddha. It's always in this form of, this is how you should train. And those of you who are on right at 1 o'clock, you saw that Sarada and Dilhara were leaving, and they chose their instructions from the Buddha. So we're gonna make a choice for you who are out there online. And those of you who are here in person, you can shuffle around in the bowl and pick out. I'm going to pass this around first. Pick one out for yourself. You know, these things are just by chance, or are they just by chance? Sometimes in past years, people have said, well, you know, one person I'm thinking of in particular told me years later that this practice, this picking this, changed his life. So it can have that effect. But again, we have to use wisdom. So seeing if this practice that gets chosen for you or you choose is actually something that works for you right now. It is from the Buddha, so it can't go wrong. It's likely to be really, really pretty helpful, but it's up to you to know how to use it. Or you can ask for our help also in determining how you might apply it in your own practice. Okay, so we're going to start picking for you. Would anyone like to start first? You can raise your hand. They did. I passed it around. Do you want to take one? Oh wait, we've got a very excited bhikkhuni here who wants to
Pick first.
Okay, then I will pick one. No, I'm gonna pick last. I'm gonna pick last. So raise your hand if you want to go next, and then all of the order of the hands I'll choose for you, or we'll have someone choose for you. That's an electronic hand, by the way. Okay, Kat. Here it comes. Oh, we're gonna read these. I'm gonna read it to you. Should we go with the people in person to read first? I've got yours, Kat, but we're going to hear from, here comes Deborah. She's going to read out what she got.
I think
You're right. You're right
Okay.
there.
So I will be one who possesses perfect confidence in the Dhamma.
Oh,
That's a challenge for me. That's good.
that's really good. You know, perfect confidence in the Dhamma and the Buddha and the Sangha, that's a big part of what happens with stream entry.
Oh, a
Complete.
little wet. Complete confidence. Yeah. Thank you.
So the way to practice with that, I would say, is notice the edges of your confidence in the Buddhist teaching.
Mm-hmm.
And see, you know, like, because it's understandable. We might think, well, I don't know about that.
Right.
I don't know about that part.
Mm-hmm. Right. I think that, but not that.
Yeah, and then look at why, and how do I understand this, that I'm not really completely seeing the way the Buddha was intending it. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, here comes Lynn.
Okay. Hello there. I will be one who possesses the virtues dear to the noble ones, unbroken, untorn, unblemished, unmottled, freeing, praised by the wise, ungrasped, leading to stillness of mind.
Wow.
SN 55.
Yeah, each one of these
3.
has a sutta reference where the text came from. And we're going to probably write these down or send them to you or something so that you can look it up too. That's another aspect of what happens with entering the stream, that unbroken virtue.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
We'll keep that one.
Okay, Lillian.
Okay. I shall be easy to admonish and make myself easy to admonish because I honor, respect, and revere the Dhamma. MN 21.10.
That's beautiful. What do you think?
I'm not sure what this means, Ayya.
It means you really make yourself available to feedback.
Oh, okay.
To advice,
Mm.
especially from you know, people you hold to have some knowledge of the Dhamma or wisdom. And, you know, to really, or really anyone, because, you know, when someone's telling us maybe there's something we should change or something, to really take that in and evaluate it, and making ourselves easy. You know, the Buddha said some people will say, oh, admonish me, but then whenever anybody tells them anything, they're resistant. They point out the faults of the other person. They are, you know, arguing, you know, all kinds of things. And then he says someone else who never says, oh, admonish me, but every time someone points something out, they really reflect, they take it in. That person's really easy to admonish.
Okay, thank you, Ayya.
Ayya, Olivia is trying to just transcribe them for us. Like, could we read them more than once? Would that be?
We sure can.
Thank you.
So this is yours, Kat. I will develop and cultivate the liberation of mind by altruistic joy. So you could just say mudita, by mudita. Make it a vehicle and basis. Carry it out, consolidate it, and properly undertake it. And that's from Anguttara Nikaya 863. And it won't be the only thing in Anguttara Nikaya 863, but yeah, there it is. I will develop and cultivate the liberation of mind by altruistic joy, make it a vehicle and basis, carry it out, consolidate it, and properly undertake it. All right, mudita year, Cat.
I love it. Perfect.
Okay, Suzanne is next. Okay, I'm stirring the pot. Not in a bad way. In a good way. Okay, Suzanne. I will dwell. Oh, the fire is talking to us too. I will dwell contemplating feelings in and of themselves. Ardent, clearly comprehending, mindful, having removed longing and dejection in regard to the world. And this is also from the Anguttara Nikaya. It's AN 863. So in the Book of Eights. So this is, I will dwell contemplating feelings in and of themselves. So a feeling is just a feeling. A feeling of sadness arises, or fear, or anger, whatever feeling might arise, you just see it as a feeling in and of itself with nothing attached to it, not adding things on, but then observing them and understanding them clearly, understanding that feeling clearly with mindfulness. You have to have mindfulness even to notice, okay, I'm having this feeling and I'm just going to be present with it and notice how it feels, particularly if we look at how it feels in our body. And having removed longing and dejection in regard to the world is part of what is said about doing mindfulness practice, that you let go of wanting and wanting to get rid of. So I'll read it one more time. I will dwell contemplating feelings in and of themselves, ardent, clearly comprehending, mindful, having removed longing and dejection in regard to the world. AN 863. Oh, does anybody have a pencil or a pen on them? Ayya, what do you say we write people's names on these, and then when they ask us later, we can. There's one in the. Okay, they're gonna get, so we've got Kat and Suzanne. We're gonna get your names on those.
Thank you.
You're welcome. What do you think, Suzanne?
Yeah, feeling gratitude.
Oh, that's good. Okay, this one is for Paula. I will know the state with conflict, and I will know the state without conflict. Okay, could you write, this was Kat and this is Suzanne. Sorry, Paula. I will know the state with conflict, and I will know the state without conflict. And knowing these, I will enter upon the way without conflict. Yeah, she says. Majjhima Nikaya, MN 139. I will know the state with conflict, and I will know the state without conflict. And knowing these, I will enter upon the way without conflict. Wow, it's beautiful. Paula. Okay, Serena. Oh. I will develop and cultivate the liberation of mind by compassion. Make it a vehicle and basis. Carry it out, consolidate it, and properly undertake it. This is from Anguttara Nikaya 863. I think we saw it. The one for Mudita is the same. I will develop and cultivate the liberation of mind by compassion. Make it a vehicle and basis. Carry it out, consolidate it, and properly undertake it. So, it's really helpful to reflect on what does that mean? What does that mean in our practice? Using compassion as the basis for the way we operate, as our vehicle. And it's not just a vehicle in our daily experience, it's also a vehicle towards deep meditation. So we can enter deep states of concentration through any of the Brahma Viharas, through mudita. Can you imagine, like Kat entering through joy, through the joy in what good is being done by others and by ourselves, with the joy that's happening, the good that's happening in the world, all good things, seeing, really feeling the joy for that. And then having that be the basis for your concentration. And so with this one, Serena, it's compassion. And compassion, it's karuna. Total mental block. Karuna. The karuna, a Brahmavihara, so the karuna is so deep and strong, it becomes the basis. And being a Brahmavihara, it's never downpulling. It's never, it is not a state of suffering. It's a state of peace and solidity, and it's a state of real, I would say, I don't know, it's a little tricky to call it empathy in a way, but that way of really wanting what's best for other people, really wanting to see the suffering and really wanting to do what we can to help. And also this applies when people are doing, things that get them into trouble, that we really want their suffering to end. But it's a state filled with love, not with any kind of depression or sadness. Okay.
This will definitely serve me well in this year of practice. Thank you so much. Perfect.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, Venerable Arano. Still learning how to say your name.
How do you spell it?
Arano, and the A's are both short, so Arano. Okay, I picked one for you. It's short, but it's extremely deep. I will dwell intent on the endeavor to develop the aids to enlightenment.
Thank you, Ayya.
I will dwell intent on the endeavor to develop the aids to enlightenment. Anguttara
And
Nikaya 556.
do you know, just curious, is that the Bodhipakya Dhammas or?
Is
Yeah.
it's the Bodhipakya Dhammas. So the 37 wings to awakening. It includes it's the whole enchilada. So developing those, that's the fundamental intention. And it's the fundamental intention of the holy life.
Hmm.
Mhm. Wow. Okay. All right, Adrian. Oh, I didn't tell you that we expect a report at the end of the year. No, I'm just kidding. No. I'm still looking, Adrian. I'm not seeing anything, just pieces of paper, but this one's the one. Okay, this is maybe a little too long to transcribe. I'm not sure, but there are forms cognizable by the eye, sounds, the ear, odors, the nose, tongue, tastes, the tongue, tangibles, the body, and thoughts, the mind, that are agreeable. And there are those that are disagreeable. I will train so that these do not persist obsessing my mind, even when they are repeatedly experienced. So whatever sense impressions come through the senses, including thoughts, whether they're agreeable or disagreeable, do not let them obsess the mind, even when they're repeatedly experienced. That can be the hardest. Sometimes the same thing keeps coming back to bother us. That's from Samyutta Nikaya 35, number 134. So SN 35, 134. Should I read it one more time? Yeah, okay. Now the sun is right in my eyes. It's okay, it's not going to last long. There are forms cognizable by the eye, sounds / ear, nose, odors / nose, tongues, tastes, tongue, tangibles, body, and thoughts, mind, that are agreeable and those that are disagreeable. I will train so these do not persist obsessing my mind, even when they are repeatedly experienced. SM 35, 134.
Thank you, Ayya. That's perfect. That's great. Thank you.
Wonderful. All right, Cynthia. Yours is very short. I will be intent on wakefulness. Anguttara Nikaya 556. I will be intent on wakefulness.
What was it in Anguttara Nikaya
556.
Okay.
And of course, that doesn't mean staying up all night. But to be awake and alert regardless of what's happening. Lillian, could you write their names on these?
Sure.
Thank you.
What was that?
That was Cynthia.
Cynthia.
Now for Jinli. also short. I will guard the doors of the sense faculties. Anguttara Nikaya 556. I will guard the doors of the sense faculties.
That's the same number that you read for me. I'm wondering if one of those is.
I think it was a different Oh no, it's true. Anguttara 556. Yes, it's probably in a sequence.
Got it.
In a sequence of thus should you train. So this is to give you a certain emphasis. Okay. Didn't we? And now, Sarah. Yeah, when you look at the context of where your particular instruction comes from, you might see more that you want to apply. Okay, Sarah, this is yours. I will enter situations with body, speech, and mind guarded, with mindfulness set up, restrained in my sense faculties. Samyutta Nikaya 2010. So I want to say that when you do look these up, you might find a different translation. And also, there are a couple of words here that are added, like situations is in brackets. And so I will enter situations with body, speech, and mind guarded, with mindfulness set up, restrained in my sense faculties, and my is also in brackets. So this was added. I think it's probably that way in the translation I use. I didn't probably add those, but that's the idea, you know. It can be so, I've found for myself, it can be so helpful, especially if I'm going into a situation that I think might be challenging, that I say to myself, okay, I'm going to really set up my mindfulness here. What do I need? What kind of sense restraint do I need, or what will be helpful to guard? You know, because sometimes it's, you know, maybe some kind of conflict or some kind of, you know, challenging situation. And then if I start out by really thinking like that ahead of time, then there's a good chance that I'll be able to be different in that situation than I would otherwise without that preparation. I don't know how many of you were online in the program where Grace talked about having a meeting coming up to talk with her manager, and these other like managers were also there. And if I remember her story correctly, I think she was expecting to get fired. And when she asked about what to do, I pointed her at the simile of the saw, and in that sutta, she saw that a practice that the Buddha recommended was to be like the earth. Like whatever is said, it's not going to affect the earth. Whatever we do to the earth, of course, we're talking about, you know, the earth doesn't talk back. So she said she took it up as her practice to be dirt. And she was just going to be dirt. Nothing's going to affect the dirt. And she said it was really like the meeting went really well. And she even became really connected to her manager, and they became friends. And when she eventually did leave that job, there was left on really good terms. And so, you know, in a similar way, preparing for whatever we might be walking into can be really useful.
Thank you, Ayya.
You're welcome, Sarah. Okay, Christine. Let's see what we've got for you. I'm stirring bowl here. This one. Okay. I will use my gains without being tied to them, uninfatuated with them, not blindly absorbed in them, seeing the danger in them and understanding the escape. So I will use my gains. I will use the things that I've gained, my wealth or my skills, whatever it is that we've gained without being tied to them, uninfatuated by them, not blindly absorbed in them, seeing the danger in them and understanding the escape. So whatever resources we have, we can think of them as me or mine, and that's dangerous because we can't control it. What might happen to those gains? Then we could lose them, and that's the danger. The escape is to see that it's not me, not mine, but use them in ways that are good. Use them for the benefit of ourselves and others, for greater peace, happiness, for generosity, for development. That's from Samyutta Nikaya, so SN 20, number 9.
Thank you, Ayya.
You're welcome, Christine. Do you need that read again, or do we have it? You've been writing, Olivia, or no? You good? Okay, thank you. Christine. Okay, Saket, we're gonna, oh, I'm sorry, Ron is next. The pictures move around a little bit. I have to keep track. Okay, Ron, here it comes. Very short, but to the point. I will not engage in contentious talk. I will not engage in contentious talk. Anguttara Nikaya 761.
Thank you, Ayya.
You're welcome, Ron. It's a good one for all of us to remember. No contentious talk. Okay. So who shall go first here? Nita. Okay. I'm picking for Nita. Oh, I got this really big one for you, Nita. I don't know if you can see how big that is. Okay.
I will collect it personally on Wednesday.
Okay, we'll bring it. Yeah, we'll keep it for you. So what it says is, I will be possessed of my mindfulness and full awareness. I will act in full awareness when going forward and returning. Will act in full awareness when looking ahead and looking away. Will act in full awareness when flexing and extending my limbs. I will act in full awareness when eating, drinking, consuming food, and tasting. I will act in full awareness when defecating and urinating. I will act in full awareness when walking, standing, sitting, falling asleep, waking up, talking, and keeping silent.
All the time, Deborah. All the time.
All the time. Everything. Everything. And full awareness, mindfulness and full awareness. Sati and Sampajanya. So having the wisdom factor there, understanding context, really being present. That's from Majjhima Nikaya 39:11, MN 39:11. So I'm just going to let it go with that. Nita's going to pick that up on Wednesday.
Ayya, last week Neeta's been talking a lot about Sati Sampajanya.
Oh.
And she used to ask me about it, and I said, I don't know. Ask Ayya's. I don't know.
Now you get the full, you get to explore it all year long.
And then you teach us about it.
Yeah.
Wow, this is beautiful. Yes, I will practice. I will definitely practice Sampajanya.
Oh, wonderful. Wonderful. This is great. Okay, Saket.
So
let's
I am
see.
before that, what shall we do with the last one?
The last one? The last part of this one?
Previous year one where I was following that in which it said
Oh, last year's, you mean?
yeah.
Oh, well, what do you want to do with the last one? Keep it going, I guess.
Add it on.
Yeah.
Okay.
This one is this year's exploration. You probably learned a lot about the last one already.
It is true.
Yeah.
I've yeah, put it in my mind. Yes, I remember it always. So
Oh, wow, that's beautiful.
this is exciting. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Saket. Ah. I will be content with any kind of clothes. I will be content with any kind of food. I will be content with any kind of lodging. I will be content with any kind of medicine. From the Samyutta Nikaya, 16, number 1.
Thank you very much, Ayya.
You're welcome.
Sounds like a lay monastic.
What?
Sounds like a lay monastic
A
vow.
lay monastic vow. Yeah, kind of. It's that contentment with whatever requisites we have. That really cuts down on the drive to excel at work. The excelling at work has to come from loving kindness and generosity, not from wanting to get better requisites.
Absolutely. Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Andre. Okay. So this comes from the Anguttara Nikaya 863, which I think we had before also. So this is about the foundation of mindfulness as the mind, the chitta. I will dwell contemplating the mind in and of itself, ardent, clearly comprehending, mindful, having removed longing and dejection in and of themselves in regard to the world. So I will dwell contemplating the mind, contemplating the chitta in and of itself, ardent, clearly comprehending, mindful, having removed longing and dejection. It seems funny to hear this in and of themselves, but longing and dejection in regard to the world. AN 863.
Thank you.
Do you think that's kind of like dropping the story?
You're welcome, Andre. Dropping the story.
Like in and of themselves, like dropping the story and just focusing.
Yeah, I want to look at that actually, the longing and dejection in and of themselves. But yes, so I'll take a look into that one. Yeah, I think it's a good thought. I don't know if you could hear Ayya Chitananda. She said, does that mean dropping the story about what we long for and what we push away from? Maybe. Andre. Okay, Yuka. Let's see what the Buddha's instructions are for this year for Yuka. This is about livelihood, Yuka. My livelihood shall be purified, clear, and open, flawless and restrained, and I will not laud myself or disparage others on account of that purified livelihood. Yeah, very interesting. So everybody has a livelihood. We might not think of it that way, maybe, but whatever it is that we, whatever way the requisites come into our life, whatever it is that we need to do for that, that's our livelihood. So you think like monastics don't have actual jobs, but we have livelihood and we have to live according to that it's purified, clear, and open, flawless and restrained. And I will not laud myself or disparage others on account of that purified livelihood. So we don't prop ourselves up or put others down, thinking, oh, their livelihood's not purified. So we don't do that either. Excuse me. Majjhima Nikaya 39.7. MN 39.7. So that's for you. Now, oh, thank you. I didn't have any tea yet. Right. Look at cold by now. It's perfect. Okay. One for Cliff. Okay. Where's Steve? This is another one from Majjhima Nikaya 39. This is number 6. My mental conduct shall be purified, clear, and open, flawless and restrained. And I will not laud myself and disparage others on account of that purified mental conduct. My mental conduct shall be purified, clear, and open, flawless and restrained. And I will not laud myself and disparage others on account of that purified mental conduct. So really noticing what the mind is thinking about, and what it's paying attention to, and making sure it's in line with Dhamma.
Thank you, Ayya.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Cliff. Okay. As if we've not done this for yet. Ah, that was Cliff. Olivia. Okay, I'm checking it out here. All right. I will be one who possesses perfect confidence in the Sangha. Samyutta Nikaya 55.3. There's a bhikkhuni over here going, interesting, interesting, as she's stirring the fire. A little witchy. All the other witches are smiling. Okay.
Did you say SN 55.3?
I think so. Yes, SN 55.3. Okay, Ling.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, Ling. Let's see what we've got. I will develop and cultivate the liberation of the mind by loving kindness. Make it a vehicle and basis, carry it out, consolidate it, and properly undertake it. Anguttara Nikaya 863. So this, same as we got for the mudita earlier, and the compassion, and here for Ling, it's loving kindness. You can take that to the point of jhana. If you go that.
Thank you so much, Ayya. This is just really amazing. I've been just thinking about this, what you talk about this week, for records for our mind. One of the things I was very inspired is cultivating loving kindness and generosity. That was one of the wish I want to develop, and I written on the last night of New Year's Eve.
Oh,
and
here we are. Great.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, it's such a beautiful way to think about it, that the mind needs 4 requisites like the body needs 4 requisites. And we feed the body. In this talk that Ajahn Suchart gave, he said, the mind is hungry, but we don't feed the mind, we feed the body instead. Even the body has already had too much to eat. Even the body is like, hey, I'm already overweight. We still feed the body, but it's really the mind that's hungry. And he said the food for the mind is generosity, it's charity. When we give to others, or the loving kindness, like you're saying, when we give to others, that's what feeds the mind, this beautiful feeling of joy and happiness. That's really the food for the mind. And he said that the clothing that we wear to protect the body, there's the clothing for the mind is virtue. That's the protection of the mind. And the shelter, the house or the kuti or whatever to protect the body, to give it shelter. The shelter of the mind is samadhi. It's meditation. And then the medicine for the body, I mean, the most basic one the Buddha said is the fermented cow's urine. Monastics should be content with fermented cow's urine or your own urine. I've known quite a few monastics who've done urine therapy for themselves. But for medicine, for the mind is Dhamma. It's wisdom. So sila, samadhi, and panya, plus generosity at the beginning is the food for the mind. This is what the mind needs. When we give the mind what it needs, then we can really be happy and content. Because it doesn't have to go looking for anything else. It doesn't have to look for happiness outside in the world. It's a very beautiful teaching.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Ling. Okay, Kaylin. Okay. Oops. I will arouse a keen sense of hiri and that's wise, shame, and fear of wrongdoing, otapa. So I will arouse a keen sense of hiri and otapa. Samyutta Nikaya 16:11. I mean, it's good to understand the hiri otapa as it is in the Pali, because it's very hard to translate it sufficiently. But hiri is this conscience. You know, when you've done something or you think about doing something that's not in accordance with Dhamma or virtue, then you have this your conscience tells you this is not right. And otapa, this fear of wrong, you're fearing the consequences. That's when you're looking at the consequences, the potential consequences. And there's something it's helpful, like even the related word apamada for heedfulness. It's like these terms have a sense about them that you already you're developing, or you already have this wisdom of what's wholesome and unwholesome, and then you learn how to kind of anticipate the consequences, and you're already aware of that before you take action, so that we're more likely to keep ourselves safe.
I like that. You see the cause and effect of things.
Yeah. I will arouse a keen sense of Hiri and Ottappa. Very good for monastics.
Perfect. Thank you.
People, but
Just saying.
just saying, Galen.
You're not bald yet.
Okay. What do you think, Marianne? You gonna get one? Are you ready?
I have such a list of borrowing so many others that I don't know that I have any room, but go ahead.
You should have your own special instructions from the Buddha, I think. So here we go. Here we go. Excuse me. Oh. Okay. This is almost exactly like Kalen's, but a bit different. I will arouse a keen sense of Hiri and Ottappa towards others. So really putting it in a context of how to interact with other people. Wise shame and fear of wrongdoing with regard to others. So I will arouse a keen sense of wise shame and fear of wrongdoing towards others. Or I will arouse a keen sense of Hiri, Ottappa towards others. Samyutta Nikaya 16:11.
Right, thank you.
You're welcome. And you know, we make most of our karma with others. That's how we make our karma, most of it. So it's really good. Okay, is that everybody? Oh, me. Oh, wait, someone's on the phone. I don't know whose iPhone that is. Does anybody
Surfer Mike?
Could it be
Are we on the phones?
Surfer Mike or Deborah, another Deborah? If you don't have a way to mute yourself, unmute yourself, I'm just going to pick for you and read it. So this is for you on the phone. What's the number? Oh, just also very short. Ooh.
Oh, we have a person now.
Hello, sister. This is Sarda. I was listening on the back. So,
Well, you got another one.
I got okay, sure, sister.
I already got one before he left here. It's very short though. I will not utter a falsehood even as a joke.
Okay. Thank you, sister.
From Majjhima Nikaya 61.7. I will not utter a falsehood even as a joke. Aha.
Okay, sister. Thanks again.
And then I'm left here. I'm the last one. Did you read yours? Oh, come read it. I can read it if you don't want to read it. I'm taking this one for me. I got a good one. Okay, Ayya Chitananda. Whoa. I will dwell contemplating impermanence in all formations, perceiving suffering in what is impermanent, perceiving non-self in what is suffering, perceiving abandonment, perceiving fading away, perceiving cessation. Whoa, I got chills. Samyutta Nikaya 55:3. And you don't, of course, well, I don't know if you had to write this down or not, but I will read it one more time. I will dwell contemplating impermanence in all formations, perceiving suffering in what is impermanent, perceiving non-self in what is suffering, perceiving abandonment, perceiving fading away, perceiving cessation. Samyutta Nikaya 55:3. Here, take this back. I hope so.
It's a good start with the fire.
Okay, this is what I got for this year. Wow. My bodily conduct shall be purified, clear and open, flawless and restrained, and I will not laud myself or disparage others on account of that purified bodily conduct. Oh. Majjhima Nikaya 39:4. Okay. That sounds good for you. I think it's a good reminder. Yeah. Can you hear Ayya Chittananda when she talks? Sort of, not so much. She asked if it was a good one for me. I think it's a good reminder.
Can you read it once more?
Sure. My bodily conduct shall be purified, clear and open, flawless and restrained, and I will not laud myself and disparage others on account of that purified bodily conduct. Majjhima Nikaya 39:4. Thank you, Lord Buddha. There you go. Okay. Well, now I think it's a good time to meditate. And everybody here has a nice fire to sit around to watch if they want to. And all of you, please get comfortable. So we want to sit with our spine relatively straight, or regardless of the posture, standing, walking, lying down, and have a relatively straight spine. Then we want to be relaxed. And seeing if we can position ourselves in a way that's comfortable and allows us to really let go any tension that we might be holding. I think we're going to take a sweep through the body. We're going to start at the top of the head, and as we move through the body, we're going to let go of tension, but I also want you to think of this as an opportunity to let go of the past. We've learned from things that have happened. We've learned through things that have happened. We've come out on the other side. of some of those experiences. And now we're going to let them go. And we start by feeling the top of our head and just letting it relax. And if there's anything that the top of the head is held from the past, let it, give it this permission to let it go. Just relax. Bringing our awareness to our forehead and our eyes, back of the head, the area above the ears, and just that whole area there to just let it relax. Let our scalp relax. Let our eyes relax. And whatever thoughts or whatever sights or whatever has come up from the past or whatever happened, no matter how long ago, no matter how recent, let it go. And we bring our awareness down a bit more, the rest of the face, around the nose and the mouth, the jaw, the rest of the head, the ears. Whatever has come into our awareness through sound, through smell, through taste, it's all in the past. And we can let it go. Just relax. Let it fall away. And feeling in the neck, the shoulders. Sometimes we carry a lot on our shoulders. We can put it down, whatever it's been. Setting it aside, letting it go. Zeroing out the past. Bringing attention to our arms and our hands, our fingers. All the things that those arms, hands, and fingers have done, touched, felt. Anything that's remembered there, that's held there, to just relax and let it go. And bringing our attention back to our shoulders and feeling down over the chest cavity and the upper back. Letting go of any tension there. Anything that's stagnant, anything that's being held. Just letting the body relax. Letting go of the past. Bringing attention to the abdomen, lower back. Bottom, the buttocks, the whole torso. Just relaxing the belly, relaxing the muscles, letting go of the past. Letting go of any tension, anything we're holding. And we bring our attention to our legs, the upper legs, lower legs, and feet. And letting all of that relax. It's like having a big sigh of relief. The whole body relaxing. Whatever feelings there are in the body, just accepting them, knowing they're there, and not attaching to anything. And then we bring our attention to the top of our head again, and this time we're going to pass through the body, letting go of expectations for the future. It can be hard to do because there's a lot of momentum, a lot of work we've put in, situations unfolding. But if we are careful with our expectations, we avoid the danger and we find the escape. The escape is the escape from suffering. So at the top of the head, the face, the mouth, every part of the head. Another wave of relaxing and letting go of expectation, desire, longing. Just letting it filter away. And relaxing the neck and the shoulders. Free of any expectation. Free of longing. Free of fear. Relaxing the arms and hands. Letting go of any expectations, any longing, any fear. Letting go of worry. And noticing the chest and the back. the whole upper body, the abdomen, the whole lower body, above the legs, everything above the where the legs meet the body, and let it all relax. Not holding on to anything, not holding on to expectations from the future, worries or fears. And relaxing the legs and the feet. Feeling the whole body being relaxed with no past and no future. Notice whatever feeling you might have right now in the body. And bring your attention to the top of your head. And just be present with this experience right now, in the present moment. Aware of your head and your face. Relaxing, feeling, accepting, kindly. Aware of your neck and your shoulders. Letting go of any tightness. Relaxing your arms and your hands. Noticing your body, your upper body, down to your waist. Relaxing and feeling what's happening right now in the present moment. Below the waist, the rest of your body. Relaxing every part. Relaxing your legs and your feet. And in this present moment, being present with your breath, without any control, without any requirements, just resting on the in-breath and the out-breath. Most relaxing, accepting relationship to the breath that you can have. It's just there serving you all the time. Think of it with kindness, appreciation. Noticing any feelings that arise that are happy or joyful, from contentment, from paying attention to the breath, being mindful. I thought we'd take a little break. Just maybe 5-10 minutes or so, and then come back and take precepts together to start the new year out right. And then I'd like to hear anything you'd like to say. Maybe a little Dhamma discussion.